For this tutorial you will need the elastic lace, some stretchable fabric, the lining fabric for the gusset, pins to pin the fabric, the picot elastic, some thread which is matching your fabric and the elastic, the scissors, the lighter, the piece of chalk to outline the pattern, and the pattern. If you have yours, you can use yours, but for those of you who doesn't, I'll attach the link in the description box below. Place your pattern on top of the fabric, outline everything with the chalk, and then cut it off. And don't forget to put the marks for the gusset. On top of the front element, place the back element, face to each other. Pin everything with the needles. Then grab the lining fabric and with the face down, place it on top. Reinforce the pins if necessary. Then go to your overlocker or sewing machine and sew here. And if you are going to use your overlocker, then overlock the top edge of the fabric as well. When you finish to sew, it should look this way. Grab the lining fabric and place it on top of the gusset marks, then pin it with the pins. Turn the panties on the opposite side, grab the picot elastic and sew it on here. On top of the fabric, place the elastic face to each other, and yes, elastic has a right side and the wrong one. Basically, you need to put it a right side to the right side, then sew it here. And remember the golden rule of the elastic. When you sew, you don't stretch the fabric, you stretch a little bit, only the elastic. When you come close to the gusset, make sure that the lining fabric stays on the gusset marks. Check the elastic everywhere, and if you see some fabric is coming out, then you need to grab your scissors and trim this place, but be very careful and don't cut the elastic. Now fold the elastic this way and sew one more time here. Fold the panties face to each other and align the side seams. Pin them with the pins. Now go to your overlocker or sewing machine and sew here. When you start to sew the side seams, always start with the elastic. Put it under the needles, put the needles on top of the elastic, and then start sewing. Then let's remove the pins and check what we have here. This way your elastic will always stay on the same level. Then grab the scissors and cut off the leftover of the threads. And if you are feeling comfortable using a lighter, then you can eliminate the leftover of the threads with it as well. Next, grab the front lace element and face to face place it on top of the fabric. Pin everything together. After, grab the picot elastic and sew it everywhere around in this place here. The technique is the same. You place the elastic on top of the fabric face to each other and start stitching by using the elastic stitch. Okay, now I'm coming close to the side seam, and this is the front element of the panties and this is the back one. Make sure that the side seam always push toward the back. Now you need to fold the elastic on the opposite side exactly the same way like you did previously. Make sure that the lace is folded exactly this way and then one more time sew here. This is what I have so far. Now grab the picot elastic again and sew it here, everywhere around, up to this place. Next step is to turn the panties on the wrong side. Align the side seams together and melt the elastic with the lighter if you feel comfortable to do so. If not, then use the pins. This way your elastic will stay on the same level and it will not move when you're sewing it on the overlocker or sewing machine. Now jump to your overlocker or sewing machine and sew here. When you finish to sew the side seam, it should look this way. And if you use the same technique, then your elastic should stay on the same level on the both sides. Now grab the needle and the thread and you need to push the side seam toward the back element. Then sew here with the few stitches by simply using your needle and the thread. When you start, first block the thread, exactly the same way as you can see me doing here. Then, as I said, push the side seam toward the back element. After that, grab all the layers of the elastic and put the needle into the loop. Exactly the same way as I'm showing you here in this video. When you finish to sew here on top, sew here on the side as well. When you come to the end, don't forget to block the thread. If you follow this tutorial with me, then at the end you should end up exactly with the same beautiful and comfortable panties. For this project you can use absolutely any stretchable fabric you have at home, and by choosing different fabric and different lace you can come up all the time with new designs. And by the way, if you want to learn more sewing, then please join me in my school community. But for this tutorial, that's it, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye!